this actually working? All right, I'm back. So I don't know what the hell was happening. There was technical difficulties. I got my capture to play, or to be captured, but then my like camera disappeared, so I don't know what the hell's going on. But anyway, I'm back now. I bet a lot of you might be wondering where the hell I've been. So spring started March 20th, and I think like it was fine for me. 21st came around and it was just bad. Like I had seasonal allergies that I've like never experienced before. I was like almost beginning to think that it was like fiberglass in my like insulation. My insulation that's fiberglass. I'm getting into like my AC unit somehow, and just like spreading like all of the stuff, all of the fiberglass particles throughout the air, and then like me breathing it in, and it was really, really bad. So then I'm like dying, right? Because seasonal allergies can really really mess you up. And I'm getting a lot of post-nasal drip, and it's like clearing into the back of my throat and all of that stuff. And I like can't speak. So anyway, what it turned out to be is like I was having seasonal allergies. There was a lot of I was having a lot of post-nasal drip, and that was just like draining into the back of my throat. And then it eventually turned into sinusitis, so sinus infection. And because of all the post-nasal drip and like I suppose the infected or mucus, it turned into laryngitis. So I was essentially out for 11 days, this being like day 12. So I'm not 100% back to feeling great, but it's close. But here I am, and I pretty much, like, what did I spend? I think I spent like $70. I don't know, I don't remember. It was $70 getting like things sent to the house. So it was like throat bombs. I had some Manuka honey rushed over. I ordered like a big box of peppermint tea. I used like almost 30 ounces of honey in 11 days because I was having like so much tea. It was like really the only thing that could soothe my throat. And as you can still hear, like I'm still a little, I wouldn't say like congested, but like my throat's still recovering, my voice is still recovering. I actually recorded audio of what my voice sounded like, and it was as deep as a tuba. Like it was really, really bad. And I was like, maybe I should stream like this and scare like everyone. But it was like really painful. It was just like a passing thought. I was like, I don't know, maybe I should. But yeah, and I'm also, obviously as you can tell, I'm not done my makeup and anything for you guys, and that's deliberate. I don't feel fucking good, so if that bothers you, you can kiss my ass. Because I'm not gonna put on like stuff when I'm feeling like crappy. This is the best I've felt, but I'm still not 100%. So, y'all gonna have to deal with it. I know it's terrible, but I believe in you. You guys can hang in there. So there's gonna be an ad break here in like 10 seconds. So definitely subscribe if you want to be ad free. So right now, I'm drinking peppermint tea with lemon and like a shit ton of honey. Not the Manuka honey, you're not supposed to really, I mean you can, but like as long as you don't put it in tea or anything that's like really hot, that'll destroy the beneficial benefits. But also, why even risk it? Manuka honey is so expensive depending on the strength that you get. I wouldn't even risk it. So what I do is I just have like a spoonful of Manuka honey, and I just kind of let it chill in my mouth a little bit before I have like a drink or anything, just so it can kind of work a little bit. Manuka honey is like a magic type of honey. It's like a medicinal honey. It's quite amazing. You can, you know, have it for like a sore throat. You can put it on cuts. You can put it on burns. It accelerates all types of healing. Like it's incredible. And I'm definitely like I know I've probably spoken to you guys about like the type of business that I do around town. Like I try to stay within my legislative district to try to keep the money in the district in which I live. I don't shop at like, you know, big box stores or like big companies like that, chain restaurants, that type of stuff. I don't really do any of that, and I'm also someone that will try to minimize the amount of like medications that I get, or like shirk my responsibilities like off on a doctor to prescribe me something that I'll be on forever. They don't ever fix the issue. That's why I see a naturopath doctor. Because I've noticed like many like city doctors and stuff, they kind of just want to put you on medicine forever. They don't ever want to address or fix the issue. You know, I try to stick to more like natural remedies. I try to focus on fixing the underlying problem rather than covering it up with like a bunch of medicine. So that's kind of just like my like take on it. Call me crazy, but I'd rather not end up like people that I know where they have, you know, they're on a bunch of medicine for the rest of their life. It's just not appealing to me. So yeah, I try to find like natural alternatives, and then like also fasting is something that can really help you accelerate your healing. It can cure illnesses so much quicker. So I definitely recommend, you know, looking into stuff like that. But it's always better when you're not masking your illnesses or your conditions with medication. But yeah, hopefully I'll probably feel like, I don't know, yesterday I said that I would probably feel better in about like 24 to 48 hours. This is also like part of me manifesting that shit. So because I do believe in manifestation. I used to think it was a bunch of bullshit, but it can really help, where you have like that positive attitude, positive mentality when it comes to stuff, and you want it to like happen in your life. And when you say like something's gonna happen, there's a good chance that it could happen. So I really believe in like manifestation. So I am manifesting my good health within the next, 24, 48 hours. Probably for sure in 48 hours, but 24 would be better, wouldn't it? Alright, so there is kind of somewhat of an agenda today. That would be I swear, like nothing is working. Let me do display capture. It's not working. Whatever, I don't know. Anyway, it is the Hatching Tide. That is actually going to be coming to an end in 5 days? A little less than 5 days. Hatching Tide, and then like whatever else we got going on. Just updating stream information. But no, I did not die, but I was pretty fucking close to it, it felt like. I had like terrible night's sleep. I was overheating. There was like, I think my like 3rd or 4th day in, my body just ramped up and it was like overheating one night, and I was just like, I think it's trying to burn off like whatever, you know, virus is in me. But it only lasted for like a few hours while in the middle of the night, and the next morning it was fine. But I looked it up and it's like, yeah, laryngitis, sinusitis, that's the type of stuff that it's viral, and you just have to like make yourself feel comfortable while it passes. So, you know, taking like Motrin or ibuprofen, drinking teas, whatever have you. And I was like, great, I just love this. But I don't really ever get sick. I get like sick, or I have something like once every few years. So I won that gun, that PX4 Storm in 40 Smith & Wesson, but I got tired of like spending money, so I didn't buy it. I won it in an auction on Gunbroker. No one else was bidding, but I didn't really want to spend. It was like almost $600 with shipping and tax. And I don't really need it. It's not something that I need. It's just kind of something I wanted, but I don't know. I'm gonna try to read this stuff. I know my throat is not having the best time right now. And neither are my sinuses, so I'm not sure how long I'll be able to stay on here before I just have to call it. But here we go. A stylish dreamer smiling at you. Already, your day has improved. And also, I'm like very illiterate. I cannot read. I can now read! Oh gosh. Come one, come all, for the happy season of Hatching Tide is upon us once more. And what an excellent season it is. What's with the glasses, Jilly? What's with the glasses, Jilly? Why, these adorable accessories have been exclusively prepared for this year's festivities. It is ever so good to have you with us again, Stina. Happy Hatching Tide. This year, I dreamt of marvelous golden eggs rising from curious flora. As we speak, our dreamers are hiding eggs in the black shroud for participants to lift from the shrubbery, thereby reenacting my dream. Successful seekers will be awarded with very stylish glasses. Although no little time has passed since I've had word from dear Nanota, who is organizing this operation, I cannot help but worry something has gone awry. If only I could go find her myself, but alas, I have duties to attend to here. Sure, I'll be your little errand, whatever. Of course, Stina, perhaps you would be so kind to seek Nanota out in my stead. Yeah, what else is new? Thank you. I hope she has returned to Gridania safely. It would be worth checking the Aetheryte Plaza before venturing further afield. She, too, should be wearing a pair of our thematic glasses. Hers in the shape of a chicken. Give me those chicken glasses. Those chicken glasses need to exist in real life and on my face right now. If you guys missed like the last episode, I was glamming all of my squadron to be wearing the chicken suit because why not? They were wearing swine forever. It's all about chicken now. My classes, they're a prize for participating in this year's Hatching Tide festivities, but marvelous. I chased a leafy beast and discovered a most fortuitous chicken. But for now, I must away. I look forward to these Hatching Tide festivities, these springtime delights. Oh, hello, Stina. Happy Hatching Tide to you. How can I be of service? You can give me those. You can hand over those glasses. Jilly sent you, I suppose. I've been gone for a while, but I've been having trouble hiding our eggs in the area, and as I was working, these tall, thick grasses suddenly sprung forth. Thick grasses suddenly sprung forth. I tried to trim them back, but not even my best garden scythe could make the smallest impression. At best, I managed to snip a couple of leaves. Now I cannot help but worry that our area is carpeted by not by a typical brambles, but a variety of leafkin. We can hardly send our egg hunters into the nest of monsters. Oh, what to do? We can start by putting on some clothes. You would help? A godsend, truly. Then let us start by gathering information about this particular plant. Though I know adventurers generally prefer to slay monsters first and ask questions later. Yeah, well, what if it's cute? What if it's like a mandragora? I shall head for the Botanist Guild in the meantime. If you could ask around the Carline Canopy regarding the strange specimen, I would greatly appreciate it. We never go to Carline Canopy like ever anymore. Here, take one of these leaves I managed to salvage. Let us reconvene at the Aetheryte Plaza once we've gathered what information we can. Gosh, my allergies, man. Fortunately, I did take an allergy pill. I forget which one, but I got it from Amazon. It's some Amazon brand. Breezy Adventurer. He starts the conversation, "Hey there, beautiful. You looking to hire? I'm good with a lance." Oh, man. Oh, I recognize this. A whole swarm of leafkin was crowding a little corner of the Black Shroud just the other day. Never seen anything quite like it, so I tried giving it a poke. But would you believe it? These leaves and flowers just kept growing back, easy as you please. Eventually, I just gave up. If there's anything I can't stand, it's feeling impotent. You're saying a lot of words that are suggestive. Hey there, beautiful, looking to hire I'm good with a lance, and I hate feeling impotent. Welcome to Carline Canopy. If there is any way I might be of service, you need only ask. Take a look at this leaf that I found. Well, I am well versed in the leaves steeped for period teas. My knowledge can offer no insight on this particular specimen. My apologies. However, we did have a guest come in search of a strange leafkin just moments ago. An Ellison gentleman wearing shaded spectacles. He introduced himself as an alchemist specializing in the study of wild beasts. While he did seem somewhat eccentric, perhaps an expert of his standing might offer the assistance you require. I believe he said he was bound for Old Gridania, should you desire to seek him out. Greetings, adventurer. Have you come seeking a contract? Here's my peculiar plant. This leaf, I dare say it comes from some variety of flytrap. We often receive petitions regarding roulettes, but I don't believe I've seen leafkin of this particular shade of green. Curious. Just as a typical plant, life flourishes during the season, so do leafkin. I would not be surprised if some aberrant strain had developed in the process. If you require assistance in culling it, do not hesitate to ask. Well, why we gotta cull it? We don't know anything about it. I mean, sure, it could be evil, but maybe not. You're back. Perfect timing. According to the folks at the Botanist Guild, the leaf belongs to a type of highly durable leafkin. So durable, in fact, that the pieces you and I possess are apparently still very much alive. What did you discover? So others have been similarly unsuccessful in cutting them back, in which case developing an alternative strategy does seem in order. The alchemist you mentioned seemed like a good lead, don't you think? An Ellison with shaded spectacles? Perhaps that was the fellow with whom I was speaking earlier. He did say something about chasing a leafy beast after all. Let's head over and see if we can't find him. You know, Nanota, what would be a really good suggestion is putting your goddamn eggs elsewhere. You don't have to put them right there. And leave that damn creature alone. But no, that would be easy, right? So, one thing that's been on my mind lately is I just got my new phone bill since I ordered a phone. Like gosh, long story. But I ordered a secondary phone so I can have like a business line or just like a backup phone. I wasn't about to buy another fucking iPhone for what? Like I have an iPad and I have an iPhone, right? So why would I buy another one? So I have the Pixel, Pixel 10 Pro XL. But I was able to get it free. And I just got my first bill. So it's like 24 payments of like whatever it is, but I got $300 off. My bill is $150, but it's gonna go down $15 extra. I took the insurance off it because I don't ever take this phone outside, so it's not gonna be stolen or anything. But I've just been thinking about that lately. Sorry, way off topic, but all right. Oh ho! The fortuitous chicken has found me again, along with a lady of adventure. Yes, that sounds like me. Ravenous for leafkin large and small, the wayfaring alchemist, Heberin, at your service. What? Why, this is the very leaf I've been pursuing for moons upon moons, moons upon moons upon moons upon moons. Stop, you can't make me laugh. My throat can't take it. That is to say, if you are seeking assistance in combating this menace, I would be happy to help. We would be much obliged. As an alchemist, would you say that some sort of concoction might be effective against this creature? I was thinking y'all would say that. Oh, ho ho. Don't you're not the, wait, doubt you not the efficacy of my concoctions, little chicken? Fucking what the fuck? With this, aberrant leaf in his possession, Herberin the Great can finally realize his purpose for traveling to the Twelveswood, can finally seize his quarry by the stalk and wrestle it into submission. Do you need an energy drink? But my enthusiasm overcomes me. You see, as I was poring over Leafkin of this very persuasion, my eyeballs were subjected to quite a piece of mischief. Since then, they burned like all seven hells if exposed to sunlight, wind, or most anything. So long as I wear these tinted lenses, I can remain upright and free of blinding pain and nausea for several bells at a time. Quite long enough to brew a tincture that shall spare you both a similar fate. Now, if you excuse me, I have ingredients to procure from the shaded bower. But wait, at least allow me to foot the bill. Yeah, girl, you pay. Go and get you mans. See what she says. By the time I caught up with him, he had already finished his shopping. Just the bare sight of that leaf has imbued me with untold mercantile stamina, like lightning flashed my gill, and like a mountain grew my spoils. Now then, I must gather my thoughts. The leafkin in question is a troublesome strain of flytrap, possessed of a vitality so great that it sprouts forth with abundance from the very spot it has been shorn. Therefore, by thwarting its regenerative properties, we may cut this terror down to size, not only to the metaphorical sense, but the literal. I kinda dig him. Cena might have a new crush. You two have living pieces of this tender floral flesh. Combined with my chosen ingredients, they should yield a distillation that will forestall the creature's recovery. The effects will be temporary, but a skilled hand needs only a few moments, no? Soak your scythe in Herberon's bane and mow with all your might. What wonderful news! Can you imagine if the creatures were only susceptible to fire? An egg hunt through a field of ash is hardly what Jilly dreamed of. Fire heavens forfend, my dear chicken. The act of sniffing in itself is transcendent communication, or so they say. To inhale the life breath of the forest, to welcome one within one's heart the bounties of the land, to occasionally have one's eyes squirted with burning venom. These are the experiences we live for. Not to mention all the free samples of plant life to be gained along the way. Were I not liable to keel over at any moment, I would like nothing better than to slice the shrubbery by your side. However, I have every confidence that a brave adventurer such as yourselves will succeed where I have failed. Now let us commence. Make me the happiest man in the realm, and bestow upon me your leaves. This guy's a trip. Just as oil dissolves oil, the extracts from this leaf shall counteract their own regenerative properties. Whereby this should be... Gosh, I can't read. Whereby this should be brought thusly, and should... and that should be... Yes, from all angles may this scythe strike true. Oh, wow. I offer up my masterpiece, my soul, my well-lubricated garden scythe. In your hands may it hack away our hardships. Exterminate! Let's not get too carried away, shall we? Think of the children. Fuck them kids! Now that our garden scythe is equipped to cut back fly traps, we are one step closer to reclaiming our area. Rest assured your efforts will be rewarded with exclusive hatching tide gifts, but do take care to avoid any squirting venom. Heber and the upright would like to join the sortie to observe the effects of his alchemical miracle insofar as they can be observed with scalded eyeballs. Of course, let us watch Tina's work from a safe distance. Our area is a fair walk from here, so I'll have the dreamers arrange for a chocobo carriage. Come and find me when you're ready to depart. It's too cute. She said, ready to clear the area of some troublesome sprigs and stalks. Just say the word and the egg usher shall whisk us away. You now participate in the sprig cleaning. What the heck? Build a garden scythe and slay troublesome traps and retrieve Archon eggs. All classes and jobs are eligible to participate in sprig cleaning. Speak with the egg usher at Maketa's amphitheater or the acorn orchard to travel to this area. Ooh. There they are. Those are the troublesome traps. Use the garden scythe Herberin prepared for us to start hacking away. Can I go to the next phase? Would a respondent bleeding I spy amongst these weeds bring me its flesh? Huh. That's pretty cool. What a cute little thing, but I was expecting them to, like, throw shit in our face. Throw acid. Let's just do this a few times, I guess. Oosh, that was way off. My score is better. Oh, that's pretty cool. And I cannot sprint, by the way. This is a pretty fun game. Like I'm not even gonna like cap. Like it's pretty good. This whole seasonal seems to be pretty good. I really like it so far. Items at work. Thanks to our hatching tide, participants may search for eggs in safety and comfort. Indeed, my alchemical solution indeed exceeded even my own expectations. You have delivered me a vision, a dream, not to mention sprigs of the most troublesome trap. How I shall probe, how I shall stare, all without risk, to what remains of my vision. Ho ho! Well, I'm glad he seems pleased with the result. Go ahead and tell Jilly that our head hunt may proceed as scheduled. Our area was filled with leafkin. No wonder preparations were taking longer than expected. I'm glad to hear the issue has been resolved and that everyone emerged unscathed. Not only did Stina clean up those sprigs and sprouts, she also managed to retrieve what eggs were lost in the foliage. We should be ready to hide eggs anew and begin the festivities. I would like to thank the alchemist who was so crucial to the operation. Do you think Master Herberin is still in Gridania? Eureka! The man himself. You sound, cheerful? Fair chicken cheerful does not describe the half of my moon. For Herberin the Peerless has made a discovery for the ages. Everyone's like, huh? From the leafkin samples you provided me, I was able to concoct a regenerative ointment for my poor blistered eyeballs. I am cured! My habit of sticking my face too close to my object of study has, at long last, served me well. For where one's venom splashed, so too did an antidote. Can you imagine how else we might manipulate the properties of these fantastic creatures? How we could develop cures upon cures, devise agents upon agents. We are witness to a golden age of alchemy, rising resplendent from fields of fell leafkin. Goodness, this must be what the eggs in my dream represented, the bright hopes of the future that this discovery portends. So it was you, my oval comrades, who spoke of destiny. Had I but listened, alas, Herberin has been a fool. But no longer. I shall hereby heed the wisdom of egg and continue my work with full faculties, all thanks to you. You seem to possess a great appreciation for the spirit of hatching tide, and also a pair of our promotional glasses. Oh, these Oh, these I wear not for protection against the elements, but as a reminder of the catalyst that has changed my fate forevermore. It does me proud to see Hatching Tide brings joy to one and all, and our celebrations have been scarcely begun. Cena, please accept these glasses as a token of our appreciation. You have more of them to earn, or whatever. Our dreamers will continue patrols of the area, but we may well need some further trimming. Your assistance would be much appreciated and rewarded with special Hatching Tide gifts. Geez, do I have to do this how many more times? Let's find out! I always love Hatching Tide, it's so nice. You can participate in spring cleaning as many times as you wish by speaking with the Egg Usher in Maketo's Amphitheater or the Acorn Orchard. Race against the clock to slash your way through the endless stages of shrubbery and aim for the highest score possible. You may earn brilliant eggs by completing spring cleaning. Special brilliant eggs may be traded to the Dreamer in Maketo's Amphitheater for gear and more items. Okay, for gear and items. So it looks like this is something that you do. How cute! So is this the egg? Is this the person? Oh wow. Alright, let's get the chicken one. Oh wait. They're glam items on top of like the faces we wear. Alright, well I guess I'll be doing this for a minute. So I hope you're ready. Buckle in, because I only have a few days actually left to continue to do this. So. Try to keep it moving. Enhanced egg acuity. It's terrible. Terrible, terrible, terrible. Just gotta make sure they're straight, or she's pointed straight, otherwise you just fly. Let's just use this. Better than my last score. But I lost a lot of time with that one where I was just flying all over the place. Bastards. 6,000 points. So it looks like you can get the fashion accessory as well as just like the egg, like, or just as well as the glasses. $7,700 points. 1, 2, 4, 6, 8. Sprig cleaning. Not the dashes. I don't know how I got that many points. $7,701 point is my best. But I didn't even get close to that. Yep, I'm killing weeds, and weeds need to be killed at my house too. had like 999 and I just threw them away. Because I was like desperately trying to make room for like my inventory, trying to clear out junk, because I pay like extra money for the companion app, and it was like one half of it was like full of glamour prism, or not glamour prisms, like magic prisms. Alright, it looks like I have all the things. Oh, and these you can put in your armoire. I'ma do it. We're gonna go this way. What a fun little mini game. Wow. Look at these cute things. Oh my gosh. Can those be real? I'd finally be able to see. How cute are those? She's a chickeness. Let's see if I'm not all completely rusty. You don't really lose it. Once you're pretty good at it, you don't really... So, expert roulette. I'm gonna try to get in there. See what I can get. I don't know. I know I have to upgrade a phantom weapon. So I haven't checked my phone, and I have like so much stuff to go through. My what was it, my security, whatever, ring protect, whatever it's called. It didn't go through, so I had to like remove my payment, and then I had to put a new one in there. I don't understand why you have to do that. And then it had to, I had to go in, like it tried to authorize a payment of $0.00, and then I had to approve it through my banking app, which is just weird. $0.00, and then it'll probably likely take out the ring protect monthly payment, but I don't know. I don't ever really miss payments, but like I've been sick and I'm the one who handles all the financials of the household, so it's like it's pretty much my responsibility to make sure the money is in our checking account so it can be drafted. Most of the time, all of our bills though, they just come out of our savings account, which we call our holdings account. But some bills just don't go through that. Which is almost like I'm kind of partially tempted to find an alternative service that will allow me to put like a bank draft, just because it's easier, you know. Also, you know, I think I know that MTT is a thing right now, isn't it? No, it's coming up soon, I think. Is it? No, MTT is a thing right now. So the earrings that you get from there are... It's like this miner's earrings. Which I will be getting, obviously. MTTs only come around when they're waiting for a patch. So it's like something to do to kill time because they know shit's not happening. Nothing's going on in game. Yeah, miner's earrings. It's a cute little pickaxe and a lantern. And like clockwork, I have everything else. So the only one I really have to get is the miner's earrings, which I always get the one for 100 tomestones. I have to actually check the challenge. The Mogpendium. I just forget where it's at. It's in collections, isn't it? P1T6. Let's try that. Which is Sophia. Like, still standing as one of my most favorite trials. The extreme, that is, but this is just the normal. But I used to, so before they put the Mogpendium out for MTT, I used to run the Praetorium like 12 times a day until I got the 100. I think it was like 12. I think the most I ever did in one day was like 12. And if you can imagine, that is around approximately 12 hours. I think there might have been one year that I did it where I think I might have done 16, and my FC members were telling me, like, Christina, you have to like take a break. You can't just do this. And it was just all in one day because I just wanted to get it done. And not because it was offering me anything like that I wanted so bad that I had to have it right now. Like, I'm not one of those types of people. But I just wanted to complete the MTT so then I could go do it on my alt, you know, over the span of however many days. But I don't really do that on my my alt anymore. I mean, I might if it's easy. It's not that big of a deal. What games are on sale on Steam right now? A lot of Mega Man collections. So I was able to get an audiobook from Audible for $2 and like 90 something cents. I was able to actually get the America on Fire by Elizabeth Hinton. I got it yesterday. I'm not sure when the sale's done, but like now I can just return it on Libby. But I was able to get it for $2 or $3. And that's because I was surprise charged for my Audible. I wish they would send you like an email, like before they're about to, you know, draft your account. So you could like prepare.
The unenlightened come.
Why did they leave them there? I thought they were gonna fucking move. Typically, I don't have to deal with that because we kill it. So it's the second, third, and first.
Come forth, scales of revelation.
Here we go.
I would know the weight of your souls. Can you bring equilibrium? I shall tip back the balance. Sin must be balanced with suffering. Daughter, be the bearer of my wisdom.
The red, if you didn't notice, the red base is just standing there. Tip.
Sin must be balanced with suffering. My revelations are lost.
I rolled my eyes because of what they're saying in the chat. The healer that DC. They're being like extremely annoying and cringy. Saying something like, oh, it's so ver over, or we are so ver back. Talking about red mages, like, I guess, what is it called? The prefix for their spells. Let me double check to see if... Yeah, well, no, they wouldn't have had it anyway. I remember they changed it around some time ago. Changed a lot of skills around. But also, like, trials, I don't think you can use Phoenix Downs. But then again, it's never, you're never, like, in a position to where you can actually try. Alright, so we have a collection. Lakeland or Clusia. Let's see. I have to do 5 fates for this week's Mogpendium to get this reward, or do Dome and Mahjong. Dome and Mahjong's fine, like, I like it, it's just it takes a really long time. No, will this one be able? Will I be able to do this one in 2 minutes? Possibly, depends. There's another gang one, probably not. Because they're all getting invulnerable. There's too many. I mean, I didn't really get a good start anyway. Like, I don't understand why they put the NPC fighters out of range, so when the enemies go over there to the NPCs that are supposed to be helping you fight, they go invulnerable because they're out of range for wherever they're placed. Another guard. This is like a tower defense fate here. So, one of the games that I got recently was Pokopia. I mean, it's an alright game. I was playing it while I was recovering. Kind of just like, I don't know, sandbox-like game. It's like, I would say it's a lot like Dragon Quest Builders, but the difference is you don't fight any enemies or Pokemon or anything. So imagine Dragon Quest Builders with like no enemies. You just get to walk around freely. The only thing that you have to fear is drowning, but like you don't drown. You just if you're in the water for too long, like too deep of water for too long, and you can't breathe, it just teleports you out and then right back in the safe spot. Like, and it takes like a second. That's really it. And you just pretty much discover Pokemon by making their habitat, whatever that may be in this game. I didn't know it was by Koei Tecmo though. That was weird for me, because typically they don't do that type of game, but it was alright. I mean, I'm somewhat kind of bored of it. I mean, I'd still want to, like, you know, complete it, but, like, I don't recommend it for $75, 80 cents, for $76, like, don't buy it. It's not a $76 game. It would be, like, fine and probably priced at $39.99, honestly, this game. And yeah, sorry, Salty, that one is my favorite, Heaven's Ward Trial. I just remember doing it a lot in Extreme when it was like content for the level, but I haven't really done it since. I mean, if you have like all the mounts for any of the extremes, you rarely go back and go do them. You don't really have any reason to. But I have not been doing any of the extremes for Endwalker or Dawn Trail. Not that I can, I absolutely can. Treasure dungeons? Just do a treasure dungeon? Do 5 of them. That's... Since they're not guaranteed, it's kind of like a little bit of a gamble. You'd have to get a lot of maps, but it's the one that lasts the entire length of MTT until patch. So it's not so bad. I will be right back. Alright, I am back. I needed to make some more peppermint tea with lemon and honey. Oh, so one thing that, remember I was talking about in my last stream, I was like, oh look, I think I want to get this necklace. And it's that Mew pendant with a tail that's in the shape of a heart. Well, I didn't get it for myself. My husband got it for me. Look at how cute it is. It's too cute. But, he got it for me for... Maybe it'll focus on it. I don't know. But he got it for me for our 10th anniversary. Our anniversary is in 5 days. So we'll be married 10 years. So he got it for me. He's gonna give me the earrings too, but I really like it. I think it'd be really cool to have a matching set. What was I going to do? I was going to do expert roulette and then something dragged me away. So, what am I thinking? Maybe a few roulettes to get to 1500 mathematics and upgrade a phantom weapon. And I think that might be it. This might be all I have the stamina for. Since I'm still recovering. So that one guy that left his fucking ID and debit card in my car, he sends me some fucking bullshit. He's like, you like bagels? And I said, I do, but I don't eat them. And he's like, why? I says, because I don't eat a lot of shit. Just because you can eat something doesn't mean you should. He's like, because you hate Jews. I was like, okay. For someone that says he hits the gym a lot and works out and that it's so important to him, you really are nutritionally stupid. No one I know that works out or goes to the gym or even bodybuilds will tell me that bread of any kind is in their nutrition system. I only eat fish and vegetables. I don't eat all vegetables, but the common ones. And I'm a modified keto pescatarian. I don't even drink milk. That's fucking disgusting. And I eat every other day to limit my food intake. Bread is for peasants anyway. And then he messages me this shit this morning. He's like, what are your plans for Passover? First of all, not a federally recognized holiday in the United States of America. And he says, bread is so good. I don't think bread is healthy. When did I say that it's healthy? I like bagels and cream cheese because it tastes good. And I know it's not a health food, LOL. And I replied, what are your plans for Juneteenth, which is a federally recognized holiday? He gets on my fucking nerves, man. Like, all he wants to talk about is Jewish people and Jewish shit. And I'm like, can you fuck off out of my ear with that? That's like, and it's the equivalent of like someone who is like a drop black, but they appear to be something completely else entirely, and they are obsessed with making every aspect about their life being black, like black culture, something like that. Or maybe, for example, like someone like me, I'm black, white, Native American. However, I don't have like tribal recognition or anything like that because I'm not Native American. Like I don't qualify because I'm not enough Native American to actually like be Native American by their standards. So, I just say I'm black, right? But this person, it's like the equivalent of him looking and being like a black man, but has like one great grandmother that is white, and like they're or like French, or for example, or something like that, and then they want to make their entire existence French or English or whatever. Like, it is the most fucking annoying thing. And I was like, why do you even message me? Like, don't fucking talk to me. Like, you never even want to talk about anything like fun or important. You never want to, you ask me stupidest questions, and then like you try to set me up for like some trap ass questions. Like, maybe you can actually entertain me with meaningful conversation rather some like fucking catch or gotcha fucking moment. Like, that shit is so fucking annoying, and I don't even know why I reply to his messages anymore. He's so fucking annoying. I don't know. I feel like he's maybe like not all there, even for like someone who's 42 years old. He's 42 and he's like single as fuck, and like he has some like self-esteem issues or something. Like, there's something just not fucking right with him or something. And even if that's the fucking case, okay, well, if I tell you I don't fucking know. If I tell you I don't like Mexican food, for example, why are you always going to bring up something that, like, why are you going to bring up Mexican food every time we fucking talk? Like, that, like, that's, like, are you trying, like, is that the, like, comparison of negging? Like, is he negging me, or is that something else? No, negging is more like, oh, well, you're, like, pretty, or you're attractive, but, like, I've seen, like, you know, other people that look better than you. Something like that. It's like a off-handed compliment or something. But, like, I'm not saying I don't. I'm just saying, like, if that's the fucking case, like, why are you, like, poking at me about stupid shit? Or if, like, I've talked about settled topics, like, you know, my view and stances on politics. Like, why would you bring up something that, like, kind of, like, would make someone annoyed or not want to talk to you? Or if someone says, you know, I spent a lot of time pulling up weeds in my garden, and it just, I don't want to see another fucking weed in my life. And then someone's like, oh yeah, did you want to go to this weed garden? Or Or I was thinking we can sit in the park near some weeds, like, you know, just like little annoying, like poking, prodding type things. I don't know. I've moved into like my like being cordial with him to like being a fucking bitch because I don't care. Like, you're deliberately messaging me to piss me off, I think. And if that's how you want to act, then I'm gonna fucking be mean to you. I'm gonna ignore you or be mean to you. He fucking deserves it. That shit's fucking annoying. He's like, he says he's like 25% Jewish, but his mother was Russian Jew. And I was like, okay, dude. Fucking great. And you would never ever be, first of all, you're not Jewish. You don't live a Jewish lifestyle or any of that fucking bullshit. You don't read the Torah. You don't have any Jewish friends. You don't celebrate Jewish things. You literally ignore everything about being a Jew. The fact that you say you're approximately 25%, yet you want to bring up all this shit. Like, I don't know. For some reason, it's just like annoying to me. I was like, you'd never ever even be accepted as a Jew. Like, you just won't. I'm sorry. You walk around completely, like, devoid of all of that. And then you want to talk mad shit about something. I'm like, it doesn't make any sense to me. He's so fucking weird. Jewish people, black people, white people, French people, German people, whatever. It's just, I don't know, it's really fucking confusing to me why some people do that. Like, think it's like funny. Like, that's one thing, like, I don't understand. It's like, oh yeah, I'm part black, and it's like, but you look like a white person. You're like I have a cousin. He is, like, my uncle is, you know, half black, is white. His mom is my grandma. His mom is white, and his dad was black. And he had a son with a white lady, who's my aunt. And their son is a white passing person of color, technically speaking. He just looks like a white guy. So, like, imagine him not realizing that and then going around being like, I'm black, I can say all of this, I can partake in all this culture and all this other stuff. And it's like, but you can't. Not technically, you know? Just like, I can't go around and tell people, oh, well, I'm white, so I get to do all this stuff, like, because that's not my reality. I don't know. Maybe I'm rambling here because I'm still fucking sick and recovering, but, like, I don't know. It's like that, like, annoying little fucking poking and prodding that some people do to some people. Like, you tell someone, oh, I don't like the color pink, and it's like, here, I bought you this pink shirt. And it's like, why would you fucking do that? You know I don't like the color pink. So why are you doing it? Or I don't like, you know, Power Rangers. Well, I bought you some Power Rangers toys. Like, I don't know. It's just weird to me. Like I said, I don't know why I waste my time fucking talking to him. I should just block his number. It's like saying, oh, I hate sushi, therefore I hate Japanese people. What? You don't celebrate Kwanzaa? Well, then I guess you must hate black people. You don't recognize that Juneteenth was a fucking thing? Well, then I guess you hate black people. That's what you're saying. What? I don't like bagels, therefore I hate Jews. Or, I said I do like bagels, but I just don't eat them. And he says it's because I hate Jews. The fuck are you talking about? I don't know, it broke my brain. Trying to figure out what the fuck he was... What? I don't eat bagels, I don't eat English muffins, I don't eat fucking cake, I don't eat pie, I don't, like, I'm sorry, I don't have bread in the house. I hardly eat pasta. The only pasta that I do is ramen, but I hardly even eat ramen. I bought fucking so many packages of ramen a few weeks ago. I haven't even like touched any of them. And like, since I bought them, I think it's been like a month, and I think maybe I've had 3 packets of ramen. And it was like a pack of like 50 or something. Sapporo Ichiban. Like, I'm sorry, I wish I liked pasta a bit more than I do. I wish it was more of a staple, but like, I don't eat like bullshit like that. Like, some people like, oh, I have pasta every single day, and it's like, well, I can tell. You know? I lead a pretty inactive fucking life, so I kind of have to watch what I eat, otherwise I'm gonna be a lot bigger than I already am. So I don't eat bread, which I love bread, I do, but I don't indulge. I fucking hate sandwiches though. Like, can you believe that? So I don't eat bread, I don't eat bagels, I don't eat English muffins, even though English muffins are fucking delicious. I don't have breakfast sandwiches, which are delicious also, maybe once in a blue moon, but it's not like a regular occurrence. I couldn't tell you, oh yeah, I've had, you know, a breakfast sandwich 4 times this week. Like, I could not say that. Maybe I have a breakfast sandwich once or twice a month. I love potatoes, but I don't really have them, especially more recently I have. But like, potatoes in general, we don't typically keep them in the house. We don't use them. Well, we used to. Like, I used to have potatoes with fucking everything. Oh, you don't eat potatoes? You must really fucking hate Idaho and Irish people. Okay, because they invented the fucking potato. Irish people use potatoes in the same sense that Asian people and people in Africa used rice. It was like a filler. So you'd have a little bit of like savory meat or whatever. And then you would be able to pair it with rice to make it seem like the meat was stretched further. Or whatever, you know, seasoned vegetables or whatever you were having with it. So potatoes, for a lot of Irish people, especially the poor Irish people in the countryside, that's what I've read. And since my family's part Irish as well, my grandma was telling me that that's pretty much what potatoes were used for. Sure, and they became like a major staple, just like rice did for a lot of other cultures. We all can't just have savory meat all the time, you know, be loopy and just be like, oh, I want meat. Just can't do it all the time. It's expensive, especially now. So now it's like people are barely able to afford a little bit of meat for their household, but what do you pair with it? You pair, you know, rice, something else that can kind of absorb the meat or savory flavors, and you can kind of feel like you're having a bit more meat than you normally would without having to pay that huge price, because it is very expensive. And also, I mean, I'm not a nutritionist of any fucking kind. I mean, don't look at me. But like, I'm pretty sure it's not the best to just probably just prioritize having a shit ton of meat. What do they call that? Paleolithic diet? Is that what it's called? Or maybe it's called the carnivore diet. I don't know. Where people just primarily eat just meat only and nothing else, which is just fucking bizarre to me. It sounds like a stomach ache. cast, stand still and cast. Also, for the record, I don't celebrate Kwanzaa. If I'm completely honest, I'm mixed with black, but I don't have any black people in my family. My mom's part black, you know, my dad's part black as well. So I don't celebrate Kwanzaa. I don't really know what it's like. I know it's after Christmas. It's like the 26th to December 26th through January 1st. You know, one of the things that I found was completely hilarious is I'd be watching these shows of people that are cooking food and stuff, and there's always someone who has a drop of Japanese in them, and they're like, I want to pay homage to my Japanese culture. I was like, you live literally, you're in fucking Michigan. Well, my mom's great-great-grandma, like, just nothing about them Japanese whatsoever. Don't know the language, don't know the region, never been there. And they want to say they have like a fucking drop of Japanese or what the fuck ever. They're like, I want to pay homage to my Japanese side. And it's like, bruh, just so you know, Japan and anything Japanese or Japan related or comes from Japan is a fucking trending word here in the United States. When like the United States and Americans have it so fucking bad, and it's not just us. We have it so bad whenever we see like videos or a product or a video on YouTube where someone says, I got blah 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 from Japan, or I spent a blah 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 in Japan, and it's like they just know automatically that they're gonna make money from it because everyone is so, like, in the United States, everyone is so obsessed with Japan and Japanese culture and stuff that they just know it's gonna generate money. It's like a buzzword. And what's really crazy is because a lot of people think, oh, well, this is my place, whatever. Like, people, I think, fantasize about Japan being like, oh, this is going to be the best place to live. And I think when people understand that, like, as a tourist, if you're going to Japan or anywhere really, and you like fantasize, you have like these dreams of this different country that you want to go and visit because you love, you know, their culture and all this other stuff. That it's way different when you're going as a foreigner to tour versus going there to live. Like, it's completely different. And I have a lot of friends in Japan that say along the lines that, like, oh yeah, it was great, you know, for the first few months, but then, like, I just couldn't fucking live there. And it's not because I wasn't open-minded to it. It's just, it's like the honeymoon phase of like being there wears off, and then reality kicks in, and then you just realize that even if you have friends out there in Japan, even Japanese people, let's say, they're like, it's way different than, you know, you wanting to just visit for a little bit. Like, everything is crappy afterwards, and it's just not what they expected. Which, I mean, like, you have to, I don't know, what is the curb your expectations? Is that what people say? Curb your fucking expectations, which is a terrible thing to say, but I mean, that's the reality of it. People are like, oh, I'm so in love with the idea of moving to Paris, and I want to be able to ride these bicycles and little fucking baguettes in the front of my cart and like all this stuff, and then they get there and they're like, yeah, I've been here for a couple of years, and it's what I thought I loved about this place doesn't live up to it anymore. Like, I had like some obsession with Las Vegas for a really, really long time. I've never been there. Still haven't been there. But then, like, after seeing a lot of the shit that goes on in Vegas, and like that people don't typically live there, and just like my whole like fantasization, I don't know what the word is, about like Vegas is completely vanished. I think what that kind of can like relate to is like people that read like a novel, for example, that doesn't have like a movie adaptation to it, and they like romanticize like the book being turned into like a movie or maybe like a TV series. But like people always say, and I've heard this like all throughout my life, is people always say, oh, the book was so much better than the movie, or the book was so much better than the TV series, right? And that's because we build it up when we're reading it in our head to be whatever it is that we want it to be, right? But people need to understand that when directors and producers create, you know, I guess you say like a real life movie, an action, I don't know, real life movie adaptation of the film, or sorry, of the book that they read, is that producer director's interpretation of what they read in the book. Like, so I speak Japanese, read and write Japanese, and I can't really say like for a lot of other languages. I know a few other languages, but not like to the extent that I do Japanese. But I feel like obviously there's no one-to-one translations when it comes to Japanese in English. It's way different. But what people need to understand is like when you see things like translations, like subtitles on like an anime, manga, like whatever the caption is, like if there are like English adaptations, or like if you read a manga that's, you know, dubbed, is that the word, that's in English, well, it's been translated from Japanese, right? But you have to consider translation as an art form, and it's left up to who's interpreting whatever it is that they're reading. So people are like, oh, that's not what they said, but it's like you kind of have to like get the context of like the whole situation before you can say, oh, well, you know, that's not it. Now, I believe there are some things that you can, you know, argue that aren't direct translations, or at least this isn't what they mean. The same is true for everything. So I can read French, but I can't speak it. I can't spell anything. And I don't know if that's because I'm part French and my brain can kind of just understand a little bit of that. I don't know. But I have a FC member who is French, and he says the way that things are said in French are very fucking weird. Like, it doesn't make any sense. If you were to direct translate it, and you kind of have to like inference a lot of stuff. And I was trying to understand him, but I just like I couldn't like really grasp what he was saying. But he's like, a lot of our grammatical stuff is like very bizarre in French. And he speaks English like perfectly, so I think he knows what he's talking about. But I wish I had a better grasp, and I took French for a lot longer than I did when I was in high school, so I could kind of explain it a bit better. Oh, I'm not gonna have any space. Oh, it sucks. Yeah, so I would have to say, like, you have to, like, not everyone's going to read the same book as you and get the same interpretation from the text that you have. And I think the same applies for translation as well. And I think that also carries over to people that visit different countries. They have, like, this, you know, infantilized version of their dream country, their dream place they want to live. You know, people that want to live in wine country, or they want to live in a different state, and it just doesn't live up to their expectations, because it's like, well, it's kind of like an interpretation, you know. If someone read, like I said, if someone reads a book and you read the book and finish the book at the same time as someone else, you may not get the same interpretation as them when they read the book. And just like when you hear someone speak, you may not understand completely what they're talking about because your interpretation may be a little different. And the same applies for subtitles. So I feel like a lot of people, they fantasize about like, oh, well, you know, if I move to Europe, somewhere in Europe, I'm gonna have like the best time ever. My life will be so much better. And they get there and they just realize it's just another place with the same fucking problems. And then also there's like struggles. They're like, so I have friends out in Japan, and they say I've never felt so lonely out here. And this is coming from Japanese natives as well. And they're like, you know, Japan's like a really like lonely place. People are kind of like about themselves. And I was like, yeah, they got that from us. You know, and I think what people honestly really have to do is curb their fucking expectations when it comes to stuff like that. You know, there's a lot of people that can, you know, turn lemons into lemonade wherever it is that they, you know, if they move to a certain place. And some people have like a happily ever ending, or, you know, whatever their situation may be. But I think when it comes to Japan, there's like some type of illness out there that people are like, oh, Japan is so great. And it's like, okay, so what is it that you want to do? You want to go to Japan? You want to what? eat some fucking ramen, have some sushi. You want to go to a cat cafe, you want to go to a manga bar, like, what else do you want to do? Because that sounds like some tourist ass shit there. Stuff that's not sustainable, stuff that people probably don't do every day. And then, you know, there are people saying, like, especially Gaijin will be like over there and be like, oh, well, you know, Japanese people, they'll be so nice to your face, be like racist to you behind your back. And I was like, okay, and then how the hell would I know? And how do you know also? If you're nice to my face, then I appreciate that shit. Everywhere's fucking racist, everywhere you turn. And I know who started that shit too, so don't get me started. So, I don't know. People just need to realize that Japan is just another place with its own problems. Whatever it is that you think that you have a problem now in your current place is not going to be resolved if you go to a different place, especially if you can't immerse yourself. Like, and also you can kind of say hi to people in Japan, but like, it's, if you don't do that here in the United States, why would you do it in another country? You know, for example, for me, I can honestly, without a fucking doubt, say I don't go up to random people and say, hi, how are you doing? Do you mind if I sit down and have some food with you? Or, you know, just like talk to people? Because like, you just don't do that out here. At least where I live, in Arizona, people are not friendly like that. You go into a place of business, you say your like cute little hellos and whatever, hellos, goodbyes, and like that's where it ends. You can probably go say hi to some people, but people will literally look at you and be like, what the fuck is wrong with this person? And also, Japanese people think the same thing. I have friends in Japan, they say, oh yeah, I mean, we'll have a nice short interaction, but most of the time it's seen as very weird if you were to like just go up to someone you don't know and to like say hi and kind of like try to insert yourself in like a conversation or something. And I was like, yeah, it's weird all over the planet. Like, it's not just the United States and Japan. It's fucking weird behavior is what that is. Humans don't act like that. And like the hustle and bustle of like most places, I mean, it's just like, you're gonna be lonely. If you're lonely here, you're gonna be lonely there, you know? I don't know what the weird like obsession is with Japan. I can't tell you that like I got into anything Japanese because I was like obsessed with their like culture. Like I wanted to be a part of that. I can't even tell you how the origin story is weird. Like I went into like a used bookstore with my family, my dad's side of the family ones. And my aunt that was taking us around and like took us to the bookstore and stuff. She's like, well, get a book, you know, something that you can read and whatever. And it wasn't just me, it was my two younger brothers, and they came back with something, and I was just like, I don't know what to read. Like, I'm gonna tell you, I was not the most bookwormish type person. I knew there was this bajillion books out there, and I didn't know where to start. So I mainly stick to educational type books. When I was a bit younger, just because I didn't really have time for like, you know, non-fiction, fiction books, anything like that. I would say fiction books, but even non-fiction books. Like if you were to say, oh, well, this is, you know, something about a case that has happened, or, you know, ancient Egypt books, stuff like that. I didn't get into really like any historical books until I was older. But I would always try to learn like languages or learn like some form of like art. So like origami was something that I was really interested in when I was a bit younger. So I would look at like trying to hone a skill. So like origami, crochet, speaking a different language so I could read other texts, learning to play an instrument, stuff like that. So those are the type of books that I had time for. Well, I made time for when I was a kid. And I just picked up a Japanese English dictionary. And I was like, I want this book. You know, I didn't know where else to begin. So I I still have it, actually. The book is like... $23 old. Yeah, it's 23 years old. I still have it. Let me see if I can find it. Alright, I found it. This is the first book that I got. That got me into Japanese. I was 13 years old. And as you can see, it's pretty beat up. And this book was brand new. Like, brand new in appearance. It was at a used bookstore. But, you know, it's still held together. Copyright and publishing date, copyright 1997. By Random House Incorporated. I don't see any other dates on here. A hardcover edition of this dictionary was published by Random House Incorporated in 1995. That's the only dates that are on this book. Dictionary, book, whatever. So the hardcover version of this book came out in 1995. The softcover copy paperback came in, or was published, probably printed in 1997. So I still have it. There was absolutely no motive. I was 13 years old. What the fuck did I know? I didn't watch anime. I don't read manga. I didn't do any of that shit, really. And also, especially the shit that we got then, like that long ago, never came in Japanese. Everything that we had, like, back then, I feel like unless it was imported, you had some special fucking connections, was dubbed. And it was normally done by 4 kids. So, didn't have any motives, it's just how it started, you know? I'm pretty sure if I would have picked up something like French or... I don't know. I really don't know many other languages that I might have looked into. I mean, even so, they're like Roman. You know, romantic. They use the Roman alphabet or the Latin alphabet, whatever. They call it a romantic language because it uses Roman numeral or Roman letters. I don't know. Leave me alone. Don't judge me. It's something along those lines. But they use our letters, right? Actually, you know what? Before that, in Arizona, we kind of do have, like, at least where I've always lived, we have like a high Asian population, and I remember having there's like this center called the Kafko Center, and they'd have representatives, not representatives, but like people during like Chinese New Year come to our schools, and they would show us and teach us about Chinese New Year to enrich, you know, the people. And I remember being really interested in learning Chinese because we had it like all the time. We had, you know, the Chinese New Year people come in like every single year, and they would come around the schools and they would teach us, you know, a little something about what the year was, what it represented. They'd show us some of like the festive, like firecrackers or fireworks, and some of the toys, the festival toys and stuff that they had, all that kind of stuff. This is a long time ago. I was a little kid in elementary school, and I remember kind of wanting to learn Chinese, but thing is Chinese is like really, really difficult. And I like to, so Japanese came from Chinese language, right? But I like to consider like Japanese the Chinese light version of the language. It's by no means like, it does not sound the same, and they don't have the same alphabet, but a lot of the kanji are like used. They derive from the same thing because it's a pictorial language. So it's like, oh, well, this is a picture of a tree. It doesn't matter what language you speak, trees all look the same or similar, right? So it's kind of like how the pictorial language is as well. They do translate over a little bit. And I have proof of it. I have the Kodansha diaries, the Kodansha kanji dictionaries. So I'm not just talking out of my ass. Literally will tell you the origin and how the kanji evolved for what it is for Japanese and its origin from China. But when I got a little bit older and I was already like undertaking Japanese a little bit, Chinese is a mountain. Chinese is very, very difficult language for people that don't live in China. It's like 29,000 characters because they have like words for like everything. Or sorry, it's probably more. I think it's like 50,000. Let's find out. So, to my surprise as well, kanji. A lot of Japanese people born and raised don't know all the kanji, and it's like, well, if you think about it, it's like, well, why is there so many? Well, there's a lot of concepts. There's a lot of things in life, right? So there's like rivers, there's mountains, there's, you know, wind, there's, I don't know, there's bridges, there are all kinds of like different things that you can put a picture for. And that's kind of like how kanji is. Now, Hanzi, on the other hand, is the Chinese version of what kanji is. And it says here that's like 100,000 plus practical everyday numbers, closer to 3,000. So, a highly educated native Chinese speaker typically knows around 8,000 characters. But it was surprising to me to know that even some Japanese natives, they can't pass some of the, like, the Japanese tests because some of the kanji they just don't know, or they don't know all of them, but sometimes they can guess. Especially, what's really fascinating though is the people that are Chinese nationals, and they speak, you know, Chinese, some dialect, either Mandarin or, you know, Cantonese, I don't know. They can identify some Japanese kanji based on their Chinese origin, which is pretty neat. So I tried Russian and I can't, I'm sorry. Russian is difficult. Russian, like, and I think it's because like they have a lot of like letters that look like our letters, a lot of characters that look like, you know, the alphabet. And that's like, that kind of throws me off. My brain can't reassociate, so I have to stick to like a pictorial, a picture language. And that's probably why none of the other languages really stuck. It sucks, but I mean, it is what it is, right? So, in order to stay out of my bubble, or get out of my bubble, I decided to, you know, learn multiple languages where I could, and the first being Japanese, and I still, you know, I still keep it up. It's my my best spoken language outside of English, but I did try Italian. Italian is relatively easy, I would say. But don't ask me to spell anything. I can't even spell anything in English, so. I tried Russian for a bit, and I can't do it. French, I can't spell anything, and I can't say anything either. I can read it. I can read at an elementary level French, but don't ask me to speak or write anything out, because I can't. I did try, like, Goidlic or Gaelic. I think that's what they call it. There's not a lot of resources for me to at least learn it on my own. I've tried, so... But I can't do it. It's just because there's not a lot of resources. I had a book, a little tiny travel guide on how to speak Irish. And they called it, like, I think the language section is called Goidlic, and they call it Gaelic or something. I'm gonna get verification right now. Gaelish. Irish is Gaelish. This is the national and first official language of the Republic of Ireland. While it's not the everyday language for most of the population, it is still spoken as a daily community language in certain regions, known as the Gaeltacht, mostly along the western coast. It is also compulsory. It is also a compulsory subject in Irish schools. So many people have at least the basic knowledge of it. And I thought it was interesting, so I tried to, like, learn that as well. But like I said, there wasn't a lot of resources, so I gave up on that endeavor. Spanish? Well, why not Spanish? Spanish, yeah. I mean, I actually did pick up a lot of Spanish when I was working in the food industry out here. And I'd probably say when it comes to all the languages, Spanish is probably the most beneficial to learn, as it is the second most popular language globally. And is the most, yeah, it's the most spoken language, second most spoken language globally. So, and yeah, there is a benefit and upside, but I'm like this close to like being immersed in the culture, so my husband's part Mexican, it's fine. Oh my gosh, finally. I mean, I think I pretty have like a basic grasp of Spanish as it is, so I'm not too worried about it. was perfect, but they had to send those dolls charging at an angle from their start point, and I was pretty much trapped in. So we have a mediocre sage and a mediocre power. Weird. And a level 100. Greetings, goodly guests, your tea awaits. Terrible tank, terrible healer. Not the worst, but not good for level 100. High level, what do I want to do? What class? The monk was decent, their DPS is way too low. On some stretches. Not all of them, but some. But they definitely weren't as bad as those two. Those two were matching the same DPS, by the way. Healer and tank DPS were the same. So I think I will do this last roulette and then upgrade the phantom weapon. Pretty much call it for the stream. Be a semi-short stream, I suppose. You know what my earlier rant I can compare it to? There's a famous actor, well, was once famous and now infamous. One of my Discord members replied, I recorded myself when I had laryngitis, and my voice was like super deep, and he posted, like, he replied to what my audio sounded like, and he just posted a picture of like an old woman with a cigarette in her mouth. I hate him. I mean, it's funny, but he's not wrong. So he's like I sounded like an 80-year-old white woman who smoked probably 10 packets of cigarettes a day for 60 years. Anyway, I'm talking about Steven Seagal. That guy is weird. He was like, oh yeah, I'm an Aikido instructor in Japan. Like, and obviously I understand that there was a lot of breakthrough that he did while he was, you know, pretty much a white man in Japan, and he had his own dojo. That fucking guy was so obsessed with Japanese everything, and then he was like kicked out, right? And he started doing fucking terrible movies here in the United States. And now all of a sudden he's like Russian. Actually, there was a period in time I was like, who is this fucking Native American guy who thinks he's he's like the bee's knees, right? I was like, who the fuck is he? And he was thinking like, I guess he was like fully fucking, I don't know the whole history of him. But I was like, who is this fucking native guy? And now all of a sudden he's Russian, but like he'll still wear Chinese garb. And I'm like, this is so weird. Steven Seagal is the weirdest fucking human alive next to someone else that we know that has a house that is currently in a house that is white. He's like, yeah, I moved to Russia. You moved to Russia because you're a fucking asshole and no one likes you. Aren't you the guy who had the fucking lawsuits because you would deliberately harm stunt doubles and shit on purpose? Like, or like, I don't know what they're called. They're like actors. You deliberately harm them to inflict bodily harm on them because you have some fucking stick in your ass about something. Like, we all know who you are. You know what type of person that is. I even watched like a documentary about like him. It was like a rise and fall of Steven Seagal or something. His movies were shit also. exuviation. one you have to go to a door. Very ominous ruin. That's fine. Alright, I have enough to upgrade a phantom weapon. So I get waxing, I think. Not waning, not yet, I don't think. For all the other ones that I am on. Yeah. White mage, we'll get the crook. Oh, that's something. Alright guys, well I think that's all I'm gonna do for now. I probably should get off of here and still focus on recovering, resting my voice, all of that stuff. But hopefully I'll probably be on here tomorrow, do the same thing, almost. But till then, thanks for joining, have a good time, see you next time.